Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is July 15th, 2021, and this is episode 363. Today we're looking at the Cimmerian, and this arc is called The Man-Eaters of Zamboula. And what a nice cover. We got like this nice triangle going on. Conan's looking fantastic. We got this very beautiful woman clinging to his groin area with her mouth wide open. And I guess it's in terror in this case. And we've got this nice frame around them as well, a doorway. They're in the city of Zamboula, which has some mystery to it, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Hey, this comes out from Ablaze. This is number 1. I don't know how many issues are. They have been running about 3 issues per arc. The first one was that I saw was Frost Giant's daughter, and that was beautiful art. They seem to be swapping the teams on each one of these. The last one, I believe, was Virgin Augustine was the author on an artist maybe on that as well. And this one is someone named Guess, and we'll get into that in just a second here. Now, this story is an adaptation to one of the Conan stories, the Cimmerian stories from Robert E. Howard's Savage Hero Uncensored. So this is almost word for word what happens in the story. Okay. We get the nice blurb in here, which I always appreciate. It's a nice setup. Conan has been traveling with the, oh boy, what are they called? I always forget their names. I'll tell you in a second. Anyway, the writer and artist is Guess, Gess. I'm assuming that's how it's said. The letterer is Desi Cienti, and I believe that letterer has been working on all these. The cover artist is Yannick Paquet, I guess. And Guess also does a cover, but not this particular one. This is Yannick's. All right. The art in here, the interiors by Guess, are really nice. I do have an issue, though. The colors tend to be very muted, and sometimes you can't see the wonderful detail that well. I mean, look at all the detail he puts into this, but it's all kind of the same color. There's not enough contrast to it to make things pop out. Certain things pop out here and there, but when we get into it, you'll see that it's very difficult to read. Like I said, the dialogue and narrative is pretty much word for word from Robert E. Howard's original script. So you can't go wrong with that, in my opinion. So it starts out, Conan goes to the city of Zamboula, and apparently there's this legend or rumor or myth that travelers there, if they stay at a certain person's house, I believe his name is Aram Bakash, they stay at his house, they disappear. And he claims that they just left early in the morning, no one saw them, but their belongings somehow show up in the bazaar over the following days. So something strange is happening. And for some reason, he's taken it upon himself to be the do-gooder and find out why. Now, I think you can kind of start seeing the muted colors are really making it tough to see what's going on in each panel. But you can also see the wonderful detail. It's almost like you're looking at lace. But unfortunately, there's just not enough contrast to really see what's going on. So he's being told the story about one chief whose son stayed there, and he disappeared. So the chief went back to the town to Aram Bakash's place, and couldn't find him. They looked in even the cellar of the house. They didn't find him. But they did do investigation out of town, and they found bones in this fire pit. So there's this legend that Aram Bakash turns into a demon. He grabs travelers and takes them off to be killed. Not that Conan believes this, but he still wants to check this whole thing out. So he rents a room. He doesn't have any belongings, and the guy tells him the tales. It doesn't matter if you have any belongings, you'll disappear. You know, it's not that they're just robbing you for the belongings and then killing you. So as you can see here, that's a pretty nice shot. But then you get something like this where it's very difficult to see what's going on. So a little bit more. Once we get into the chase scenes, it gets even more difficult. So he goes to meet Aram. The guy gives him a room, and it's pretty suspicious right off the bat because it actually locks from the inside and out. So he can be Conan can be locked inside his room. So as you can see, he's removing the lock there, the bolt or what do you want to call it. And he goes in and checks out the room. He finds out there's another door at the opposite end. And once Aram is left, he goes to check to see where that goes. And he goes out, he looks left, right. He looks down the street. He goes down the street. He pops out, comes back to his room, and just lays on the bed with his sword. Later that night, he notices a door opening, and he's getting attacked. But he's got the upper hand. He stabs this person that's just really kind of strange looking, and then chases him as he darts out of the room. He finds him, sees that his teeth have been filed down. He realizes he's a servant from the land of Dutar. I think it's Dukar, I think. And they are known for being cannibals. So apparently what they let them do is let them work as slaves during the day, and then at night they let them hunt this Aram Bakash's house for travelers. They don't allow them to kill the residents, and the residents know to lock up. So as Conan goes to investigate more, he comes across a woman, a naked woman, being chased by three of these servants that are got the teeth filed down, and they apparently want to eat her. And she'd given, the story she told is she had given her lover a potion that was supposed to be a love potion, and it actually drove him mad. He tore her clothes off and threw her out of the streets right into where these guys attacked. So Conan is actually able to kill all three of these strange abominations of servants, and the woman clings to him now. She's a pretty good-looking woman, drawn really well. But still, see, it's very difficult to see in some of these panels. They're just so almost monochrome to the point, and muted to the point that you just really can't make out what's going on sometimes. I mean, I was using a magnifying glass trying to see. So he's noticed that there's more of these creatures about. They are able to steal away. She tells him if she can kill this priest that gave her the wrong potion, she believes that her lover will come back to her. And so there's a lot of this kind of hugging and grabbing and her trying to convince him of things. They actually do find her lover, and he's able to knock him out and tie him up while she goes through his pockets for some reason. So he's starting to get suspicious of, Conan's starting to get suspicious of this naked woman now, but she promised him that she will be his if he kills this priest that desires her as well. And that's where it ends. So yes, this is a recommend. A pretty exciting story. Like I said, though, it's a little difficult to see what's going on from some of these pictures. They're just so monochrome to a point. Plus, it's taking place at night. That doesn't help out. But then what's cool too is with these stories, you get the text, the actual text from the actual story that Robert E. Howard had written. And it's pretty much covers what we saw in this issue. This one is a to be continued, and such as the story as well. So it is a recommend. Also from Ablaze, they have Gung Ho. This is kind of a teenagers in a zombie setting, trying to stay alive and trying to cope with each other's personalities. We have all the variant covers here for the Cimmerian, the Man-Eaters of Zamboula. And you can see there's quite a few different ones. Here's the one by Guess, and you know, it's hard to see actually what's going on in that one. I can't really tell. And here's the cover for the next one. Looks pretty awesome. This is just the regular one. The mysticism continues as Conan and Zabibi, she was the naked woman, venture into the temple of Totasmak, he's the evil priest, where nothing is as it seems and danger lies around every bend. But this house of spirits isn't the only place where the Cimmerian will face deception and illusion. Conan must use all of his wits to survive the sorcery working against him, so he may receive his prize and get his revenge. So there you go. And then, as always, Ablaze puts a shot from the comic in there. I always sleep with steel by my side, and that was why he was ready for the assassin that wanted to eat him. So this is mature content. It does come in at a whopping $3.99. I do think it's worth it. It is a little hard to read, a little hard to see. The story is a little complex because of the names and all the different races and nationalities they talk about in here. But I thought it was pretty good, exciting story. So I did dig this one up, and I do love it. So I am going to give this I'll put it right here, Indie Comics Jones, good excavating seal of approval given out only by Indie Comics Jones on this particular channel. It is my privilege and pleasure to do it after the clunker of the Joker I reviewed last night. This is great. So thanks for stopping by and watching this review. As always, please like, please subscribe, please leave comments. Hey, we hit 200 subscribers. Man, I never thought that would happen. I was felt like I was stuck at 39 subscribers forever, and then it got going, and then I was stuck at 89 forever. Then it got going again, and then it was stuck at 135 forever, and then we were stuck at 179, and suddenly it just picked up, and we're at 200. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. I got more content to go this week, so keep stopping by. I'll try to do at least one a day, and I'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes with Indie Comics Jones, bidding you adieu.